Welcome back SLS 1101 students. This video is going to detail your Module 3 Assignment 2 work. Complete and submit the problem solving assignment from Module 3 of your SLS 1101 course. Just having a look at where we've been so far into Module 3. Looking at the Module 3 study activities, we had a look at Chapter 4 for the previous video because Chapter 4 was more related to your last assignment, which was the self-portrait assignment down here. So we do still have Chapter 5 left out of our Keys to College Success, and the information in Chapter 5 is very closely related to your problem-solving activity, so be sure to read Chapter 5 before beginning the assignment. Study Activity 2 correlated with our previous assignment, as did 3 and 4, which leaves us just back here with Module 3 Study Activity 5, which is a video learning how to do it better, which does relate to our new assignment, Module 3 Assignment 2. So in regards to the study activities which will best help you achieve success on this assignment, be sure to read Chapter 5 of your textbook and be sure to watch the video learning how to do it better on your study activities list. That will help you translate into a higher score on your problem solving assignment, which we will start rolling through now. So I'm going to transition here from your schedule of activities into your SLS 1101 class. And I already have Module 3 pulled up on the screen here for us, but let's just back it up just a bit and have a look how I got here. Having a look at our two folders which are listed underneath Module 3, the study activities we just had a look at, but it doesn't hurt to have a look again. Here's what we just referenced on the previous slide, and we're going to be reading Chapter 5 for this assignment and viewing the video. Scroll on down. The first couple of items went to our last assignment, and here's that last remaining study activity, the Learning How to Do It Better video, which will help you with your problem-solving activity. So let's back it up from the study activity so we can find those assessments and have a look at this week's assignment. We're going to be going down to the Assessments folder. Two assessments listed in this folder. We covered this assessment here on the previous video, the self-portrait assignment. So keep scrolling down to this week's work, which is Module 3 Assignment 2, the problem-solving assignment. This is one of the assignments that does have a fillable form for you. So we'll download this in just one moment and talk about how to input your answers there for a maximum score. Let me read the directions real briefly before we go any further. Directions. In this module, you've learned more about who you are as a thinker and a learner. You have defined your self-knowledge and reflected on your preferred teaching and learning strategies. You have also explored the problem-solving process, which always requires the use of analytical, creative, and practical thinking skills. You will apply these concepts here. For this assignment, select a school-related problem that you are experiencing right now and that's holding you back from academic success, in which you can realistically attempt to resolve this semester. Consider how a mismatch between your self-knowledge preferences and classroom study, teaching, or technology choices may be affecting your success. Fill in the assignment template with the following steps of the problem-solving process as applied to the academic problem that you have identified. The outline provides structure to your problem-solving process, but ideas should be supported by details and explanations to provide insight into your problem-solving process. Your solution should reflect possible strategies supportive of your learning and thinking preferences of self-knowledge. Think back to last week's assignment dealing with the mind map that went further into your own understanding of self-knowledge. You'll use those skills now moving forward in the problem-solving process. You'll upload the assignment to the submission link as an attachment by the due date on your schedule of activities, and we'll check back for the rubric here in just one moment. But like usual, once you have your assignment, you'll click the assignment title, and that will bring you to your Dropbox where you can upload your assignment. So that being said, let's have a look at what the self-knowledge to solve problems template looks like. I have it downloaded here in my downloads file. And here is the assignment. The directions are what I just read to you, and down below is your fillable form. So briefly define the problem. This is a more streamlined version of the academic problem that you're currently experiencing in one of your college classes. There's a lot of examples for what this might look like in Chapter 5 of your textbook. So don't use the examples verbatim, but have a look at Chapter 5 so you know what some of these problems resemble. Once you briefly define your problem here, you're going to go into more detail in this box here. Examine the context and details of the problem. So expand it, go into more detail, and provide some insight on that problem you identified on the first step. Next idea is really to come up with 3 possible solutions. So keeping in mind that problem, do some brainstorming and come up with 3 alternatives to what some solutions might look like to resolve that problem. You'll put 1 solution here, 1 solution here, and 1 solution here. For each of those 3 solutions, you're going to take it 1 step further. You're going to talk about a possible positive outcome of that solution as well as a possible negative outcome for that solution. So you're just weighing the pros and the cons of each solution that you suggested. You'll do that 1 time, 2 times here, and then for the 3rd solution here, you'll apply that process again, weighing the pros and the cons. You'll have at least 1 pro and 1 possible negative outcome for each of your problem solutions, but you could have more if need be. The more relevant this problem is to you in your everyday life right now, the more effective and the more specific your possible pros and cons should be, because they should be affecting your life right now, so it should be very real to you. So keep all that in mind and list your 3 possible solutions. Once you've listed your 3 possible solutions and the pros and cons of each, do a little bit more concentrating and come up with which of those 3 options do you anticipate that you'll move forward with and implement as the first step of solving this problem that you've identified. So evaluate those 3 options, select the one here, and then go into more detail and explain that choice as to why you come up with that decision. When you're explaining your choice, that shouldn't just be a 1-sentence summary. You should be going into detail, 3 to 5 sentences, backing up your choice and relating it to different items that you've taken along the way from the class or personal experiences, or even more specifically, possibly the study activities. I definitely want to draw your attention here to this part of the assignment where it says to create a SMART goal to promote success in solving problems. So that SMART goal needs to be related to your goals in overcoming this problem that you've identified. If you need more help remembering what a SMART goal looks like, please revisit Module 2 or Chapter 2 of your textbook to be sure that your goal is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and related to a time frame. But the wording should go something along the lines of, in the next so many days, or by the end of the week, or by next Saturday, I will achieve this by doing this, and I'll know I got my results by this. So it needs to be able to be measurable, knowing that you achieved your results or not, very specific and related to a time frame. Once you've created your SMART goal, move down to the last part. I'm going to show you this on the rubric here momentarily, but the very last part here is worth 10 points all on its own, so you definitely need to give some attention to the last section here of the assignment. The writing prompt is this: explain how self-knowledge, which you talked about on the previous assignment with the mind maps and all the different elements that make the strengths of your intelligences, the multiple intelligences, the personality spectrum, everything from the previous assignment. Explain how that self-knowledge is important to the problem-solving process. So you're tying these 2 worlds together. Hint: thoughtful explanations will include 4 to 5 sentences that make meaning clear, will provide the necessary details or the characteristics of the situation, and may present causes and effect. So go into detail here, give it a lot of thought, but it's worth 10 points, so be sure to give it the attention that it's going to require there. Once you have this entirely filled out, you'll save your work, save it to your desktop, go to the assignment, click on the title, which will bring you up to your Dropbox information. Scroll on down, have a look at your due date, browse your computer for your file, upload it, click agree, and then simply submit for grading. One last thing I want to show you before we finish up this video is the rubric. There's a couple ways to get to your rubric. You can click the link here as well as the one on your assignment page. I'll pull up the rubric now. For the most part on the rubric, if you fill in the information completely and accurately, you're going to get the points. So scroll down, read the columns, but for the most part, if it's relevant, if it's school related, if it's thoughtful, and if you're including all of the required components, you're going to get maximum credit on these columns. But I do want to draw your attention to just a couple of things. I can see students losing credit on this assignment for not having a specific SMART goal here towards the bottom. So it's worth 3 points. Make sure you know what a SMART goal looks like before writing up your SMART goal. That's one avenue that I could see students having trouble with. It's been a couple weeks since Module 2, so go back and review. And then lastly, just keep in mind this last section that I pointed out before. It's worth 10 points, so be sure to carefully read through your rubric. Make sure that you have a detailed explanation. Make sure that it is roughly 5 sentences, and make sure that you're covering all your bases as detailed here in the instructions. So be sure to read through before you submit. If you have any questions, reach out to your instructor, and otherwise, have a great week and good luck.